It's time to say goodbye to hold music and say hello to fast customer support with Service Cloud. With trusted AI and data working together, you can skip long wait times and deliver efficient, personalized service right away, all while keeping support costs low and more customers happy. Reimagine your customer support with the #1 AI CRM for service. Learn what's possible at salesforce.com/products/service.
TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
This episode is brought to you by Carnegie Mellon's Tepper School of Business. Want to advance your career or switch fields? An MBA from Carnegie Mellon's Tepper School of Business can help. Earn your degree from a top-ranked business school with a thought-provoking curriculum, one-on-one leadership coaching, support from experienced career counselors, and full-time, online hybrid, and accelerated MBA formats. Join the intelligent future. Visit cmu.edu/Tepper to learn more.
Welcome to the Age of Jeremy. I'm the leader when it comes to advice with business, content creation, software, taxes, investment, education, and all the hobbies that I enjoy, which I share with you on this podcast. So make sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to it right now. Also, I started a YouTube, and you guessed it, it's called Age of Jeremy. Shorts will come out a few times a week, and if you don't know what shorts are, they're essentially YouTube's answer to TikTok. So they're just like TikToks that are 60 seconds, but only on YouTube. And I also do some longer videos, like 8 to 15 minutes, which will come out every other Thursday at or around 5 p.m., which I had a really good plan to get a bunch of content ready for that. And then we went to Connecticut, and then I got behind, and so I still have to film this week's video, and that's not good. So we'll eventually get better at that, but it should still be coming out this Thursday. Just hopefully it's of amazing quality. I also post every day on TikTok at Age of Jeremy, Instagram at Age of Jeremy, and Twitter at Age of Jeremy Q. If you want to reach out to me, you can hit me up on Snapchat at Age of Jeremy. I also have a Twitch channel at Age of Jeremy that is not doing anything whatsoever, but you should go and subscribe to it because that would be awesome. And you can be notified when I'm live on Twitch by subscribing to my Twitter, which again is Age of Jeremy Q. I own a company called Age of Radio. We are a media company that offers a free podcast hosting service and the ability to join our podcast network. And we do all this for free. So check out the website at ageofradio.org. We also offer editing services and equipment sales, which we aren't really focused on at the moment, but we're working on getting better at that. We're also building our amazing Age of Radio community. Our Facebook group is called Addicted to Podcasting, so make sure that you go over to Facebook, type in Addicted to Podcasting, and inside of there, you can join our Discord. And right now, we are doing a giveaway for our Discord. If you go and join our Discord, it gets you into a giveaway where after we get to 50 members in our Discord server, we are going to give away $50 randomly in a digital certificate or a digital, what is that, those things called? Gift card, digital gift card. That's what I was looking for. I also own a company called 3T Warrior Academy with my business partner, CJV. You can follow him on TikTok at CoachJV_. Links to our free Discord are in the episode description for 3T Warrior Academy. I'm also opening up myself for some bookkeeping and tax services. I'm going to become an enrolled agent. Kind of studying hard, got so much stuff going on, but we're working towards it. If you are interested in retaining me for my services, please email me at jeremy.quintanilla@qfinancialllc.com. I know that was a mouthful. It's going to be in the episode description, so make sure that you look in that episode description for all this wonderful stuff. And if you really want to, you can go over to qfinancialllc.com. There was already a Q Financial out there, so I had to add the LLC onto mine. So qfinancialllc.com, and you can check out our prices and some of the other stuff that I and eventually we offer for Q Financial. All right, I think that's enough. Let's get this show on the road. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla. You are listening to Age of Jeremy. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm the co-founder of Age of Radio and 3T Fitness, and, well, other businesses that I am working on. This podcast is about everything that I learn and the trials and tribulations it took to learn them. I hope you enjoy. Today is a crossover interview with the lovely Tatiana. I'm not going to pronounce her last name. It is Italian, and I would butcher it. But Tatiana is an amazing podcaster. She is the host of the Yo Ishh podcast, and she's been part of the Age of Radio network for a while. But essentially, her podcast is essentially an adult-oriented podcast. So the premise is, have you ever wondered what the life is like of, say, a adult entertainer, whether that's a dancer, whether that is a adult actress, like a porn star? And so she has been working in and out of, I believe, adult entertainment clubs for a long time. And so she has met a lot of interesting people. And so she talks to me about some of that in this podcast. It gets a little bit derailed because we're trying to do a joint podcast together. So we did this live on her YouTube channel. So you can check out her YouTube at Yo Ishh. Just go over to YouTube, Yo Ishh. It's ISSH. And then you can also follow her on Instagram. She has a really big following on TikTok. She's also on Clapper, which is like a TikTok for strippers, is how she refers to it as when she tells it to me. But she is just a sweetheart. I love talking with her. I hope that we can turn her show into a huge show. It's very big in her geographical location in Florida, especially the live stuff. And they do a lot of live conversations from inside of places like strip clubs and so forth, and at adult entertainment shows. And she just is a wonderful person, and she has a lot of friends, and they just deep dive and talk, and it's funny to listen to. So you should definitely check out her content. And like I said, in this conversation, we were interviewing each other. We did like a crossover live episode on her YouTube. And so it has some fun parts. It has some serious parts. I think that you'll enjoy it. So here's that conversation.
Hey, everybody. This is Tatiana at the Yo Ishh podcast. We are live on Facebook. Oh, no, I lied. YouTube. I forget my platforms. And I'm here. Yeah.
Nope. Go ahead.
Here with Jeremy. I'm going to just say Jeremy Q. Is it Quintanilla?
It's Quintanilla.
Ah, okay. Because I was like, I think of Selena every time I say your name.
And that's what most people think of when they think of my name, is Selena.
And I sounded it out like 10 times. I'm like, it has to be Quintanilla.
No.
The K with the Q. I love it. Well, this is Jeremy Q, owner of Age of Radio. Now, Age of Radio is in no comparison for you because you're amazing. It's as a Spotify. Correct, for people who don't know Age of Radio.
It's like so it's a couple of things. It's a little confusing, but for the most part, you can think of it as like an anchor or a Lipson, where like it's a host. The main reason why people get it because they have access to like a hosting platform. So we use a hosting platform called Megaphone. But the thing is that people don't pay to use that. They just join our network to give us more shows, and then we go and advertise their shows, push their shows. We have a lot of new other stuff coming out to help them with their shows that we're working on. So the way that I say people, it's a podcast network that you can join for free, get access to free hosting, and then we put all of your podcasts all over the places where they go on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and so forth.
How long have you had the company?
So the company, we started in 2017, actually, but nothing happened. I didn't do anything with it till 2019. So because I just didn't know really what I was doing with it, but we started it because we needed to find a way to have other podcasts be on with us, like together. Like I wanted to help other people get their podcast going, but to help them, it was costing too much for hosting. So like when we did hosting with a company called Lipson originally, it was like, I don't know, $200 a month for like 2 podcasts. Now we pay a certain percentage or like a certain cent per download to Megaphone. So I can have as many podcasts as I want. They can have as many episodes as they want. We can have as many networks as we want underneath our umbrella.
Funniest thing. So I'm recording through Audacity, but I totally forgot to hit the live button. So I just hit it now.
Oh, and now we're just like, 22 seconds in.
Sorry.
That's
so
fine.
we just
Well, if you want to hear the first part of that, listen to the Age of Jeremy podcast, and you can hear the first part, and then you can listen to the rest of it on the slide.
Yeah, and understand who I'm talking to. I'm so again, this StreamYard and doing this at the same time, it's new to me now. So I did this yesterday when we went live, and it was so funny. The beginning of what we were doing at this banquet hall that I was really upset. I guess I can put the intro. I do want to tell you just quick story for yesterday. So I went and I did a paid podcast, and I was at a banquet hall, and they booked me like last night or the night before, and I invited a bunch of people. Well, it was for a guy whose girlfriend didn't want to get married anymore, and he had already booked the hall.
What?
What was that? Yeah, I'm thinking it was because he was like broadcast, like we were celebrating that he opened his bar and this and that. He was like, nope. He was like, I already paid like $7,000 for the banquet hall, free open bar for like 7 hours, free food all night long at this beautiful Wyndham Safety Harbor spa. I was wondering why we were doing something at a spa resort. I was like, not, and it was dress casual, but me and my girls always dressed like we're dressed to impress. Yeah. So we looked all like wedding, like it was, and it was called Willie's Wake. And then I got there and I was like, oh my God, am I speaking to someone's grandma? Like now I'm confused, but I can't go anywhere because they paid me.
That's really funny. Did you have fun though? Did it end up going well? Is that the one that just showed up on because I went to test this before I to make sure it would record to my system. And when I looked at the live, you were up there. So I just pulled up your live.
The blonde girl.
The one? Yeah.
Yep, Angie AR15. Yeah, she came out there and was hilarious. When I tell you, it was so funny. And then he started giving away raffling like prizes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I made a joke. I said, well, it must be the wedding registry. So they're raffling off like, I'm talking about like paper towels and like all this stuff, like weird stuff. And Angie's like, this is the craziest registry. Oh my God. Like she's going in. I'm like, you're just bougie. Then she won this butcher knife. It was amazing.
Oh, I saw that. I saw her pull. So I don't know. I skipped through some of the episode or something. Yeah. And I saw her whole. So I'll be honest with you. At first, I thought like, because I wasn't paying attention because I was just listening to the audio. So at first, I saw a package and I was like, is she doing like a sex toy show? And then I looked at it, I was like, is that a fucking knife? And I was like, why is she holding a knife? Because I had no concept of what was actually doing. Because I thought that it was like a dildo at first. And so I was looking at it and I was like, what is she doing? Because, you know, your show's usually adult oriented. So my mind automatically thinks that. And so I was looking at it and then I was like, why the fuck does she have a knife? And then I was like, whatever, I'll look at it later. And then went on.
I'll just look at it later in privacy. Yeah. Yes, that was, it was the knife. And I mean, we got like spy kits. I won the biggest bottle of vodka you've ever seen. And then I won paper towels. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I needed paper towels and toilet paper. Like that was like an answer to my prayer. It was one of the best podcast that we did that was on the fly like that, but it was one of the weirdest ones we did. But I'm talking about, I had rappers come up there. They were having so much fun. We were playing like games that you would play like at a baby shower. Like it was amazing.
That's really cool. So it was just, so he just ended up throwing a party because she didn't want to get married anymore. Is that the way that I
she was there?
She was there, but so why didn't she want? So she was there.
She kind of, it was like she didn't want to get married anymore. She left him kind of at the altar without being at the altar. She called off the wedding, but
I see. So they got there to do the wedding, and then she decided that she didn't want to get married at that point in time.
No, before, but they had already booked the hall.
So
you pre-book everything.
So then she figured. So then she would still came then to have.
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. She was still, as far as I know, she's still his girlfriend, and she can't.
Okay, so she just didn't want to get married.
Yeah, she's younger than him, and but they had already booked it. They're not giving back anything, So he was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm having a party."
That's cool.
When I saw the word wake, I was like, "Okay." My friends are like, "What did you get us into?" I'm like, "I don't know."
So did you? So when you were there, did you like DJ the event, or did you just do a podcast?
Both. And the reason why I DJ'd is because I got there and my friend Brian Gibson, been a manager at all the clubs I worked at for like 20 years. And he was there. It was part of his gig. And he's got this like indie music on. And I'm like, this is not going to work. Like my friends are going to like boycott me right now. Like this is the worst music I've ever heard. And great. Here, my husband's coming home.
No, it's okay. I was going to tell you earlier that we have HelloFresh, and no, this isn't a plug for HelloFresh. I have HelloFresh.
Tell me, plug it.
I have HelloFresh coming at some point in the day or during this, and my dogs are going to go fucking crazy. So I was going to
tell me. I want to know.
What's HelloFresh?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a delivery service that you pay for like a weekly or monthly subscription.
The healthy food.
Yeah, and so what I wouldn't say, I mean, it's healthier, but so you select your meals and then it brings you the box, and then in the box are all of the ingredients, and then you follow the instructions and you make it.
Is it good?
So some of them, yes, are pretty good. Some of them, so the problem, and again, so we do them because we have such a hectic schedule, but my niece lives with us, so we have our niece make them. And so sometimes she does really good. Well, say again.
She's older. Every time you say niece, she's like
no. She's 17. So she's been with us since she was 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then she'll probably, and depending on this other situation that she's going through, she'll probably live with us while she goes to college.
Yeah, I would live with my Uncle Jeremy if I was going to college.
but so we usually have her make them. So sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad.
But is it the cook or is it the chef or is it the boss?
It's probably a mixture of both of those things.
Wait, so do you is it sponsorship with you or anything, or is this you just
no? I just do it. We've tried to do HelloFresh in the past for a sponsorship. They usually like you to do their affiliate thing until you get to like a larger number. And on podcasts, if the shows had their own affiliates, like I set you up with Lilo.
Yes.
And so
excited.
Like, because that's specific to your show, it would be easier for you to go and hustle that affiliate link than it would be for us as a network to hustle that affiliate link. But we do have a meeting on Monday tomorrow with another company that's going to buy spots on one of our other shows. And then I'm going to push them to see if they want to buy some on your show and a couple of other shows.
Is it I mean, you don't have to disclose what it is. Is it in sexual nature?
No. But it's something that it's something that your listeners probably would maybe like.
Would want.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually thinking, because I made my OnlyFans and I want to do stuff on there where I want to get the girls. I told you they're going to do the pods naked. We're going to get the bathtub. I'm not going to be as in participation as far as all the nudity, but I can do some suggestive. And I'm thinking if we did the fresh, that's just cooking naked. And
that is
so
true.
Many girls.
You could just cook naked or just cook with. Or what would be funny is you could see if we could get a thing with Blue Apron, which is another similar one, and then you guys could just do the cooking in a Blue Apron with nothing
that would
else.
be and nothing underneath.
Yeah.
That would be great. Now, so for me, they're going to be like, so we're going to pay you to put your clothes on, but for the girls, you're going to pay them to take the clothes off, which is fine. My mom said there's no shame in either or. Just to let you know, if anybody ever comes at you at a deal and you feel that you're not body ready, your dad bod, just be like, okay, cool. Is there still money to put it on or what?
No, I'm always body ready. I'm like, whatever.
So whatever.
I'm just like, whatever, I'll do it.
Well, I'll tell you, I always tell you this. You look better and better every time. You always look nice, but you've lost a lot of weight. I mean, like I feel like we are looking at the same body shape. You're meatball like me as a female, but as a male, like it looks good. Like I can't believe that you look younger. You look even younger.
Well, that's good because I feel like I'm just aging rapidly at the pace that I'm working. So that's a positive for it.
Are you aging like a white person?
I'm aging like yes, that's exactly what is happening.
No, I'm telling you right now. You're a very handsome man, and you definitely. I think you're more the geek type. We would have dated in high school. Just like let your wife know we would have dated in high school. So, but definitely your body transformation. I've seen you for the last 2 years, and I almost want to get pictures of you. I actually have some screenshots of you.
A lot of it was a mixture of. So I have type 1 diabetes. And I've had that for like 10 or 11 years or whatever. And 12 years, I don't know, a long time. And so it was that. But then when you kind of came on board, I had like hypothyroidism, which I didn't know that I had it.
Yes.
And so once I got a pill for that every day, then it was easier. Now I just like working out so I can eat whatever I want. And
would they give you? They give you Synthroid?
No, they gave me levothyroxine.
Oh yeah, I think it's it's
probably the same. Yeah, it's probably the same. I can't imagine there's more than one that you need.
I didn't know that, so that's why we connect because we both had that, and
we're both
I always
sick.
Yeah, we both are meatball worm. Well, you were the meatball. Now you're better. And I'm the hypothyroid. And you know it's crazy. I always laugh and I tell people that's what I have, and because it's true. But I was like, I know that's something fat people say.
Yeah, right. And so, which is funny because we went and saw the comedian Jim Jeffries the other night on Friday. That's why I couldn't do the podcast later because I had a bunch of shit to do, and then we were driving to Tucson to do that. Anyways, and so when he was making fat jokes, in my mind I was laughing at them because they were funny, but then also, but then in my mind I was like, but I do have a gland problem. That's because he kept talking about that, and I was like, but I do have that, so it is a real thing.
I know. I start out almost every other podcast whenever we're talking about something like that. I'm like, yes, and I know that's something fat people say. I was like, but I have paperwork to prove it. I have receipts.
Which it still makes it really hard to like actually lose the weight. Like I put on muscle really fast because I eat anything that I want. So like when I'm working out, I'll still get bigger, but it just won't be fat. But like getting the fat to actually go away, having hypothyroidism is still really pain in the ass. Like it still comes off a lot slower.
I was always at like literally like one number. Like my weight was always at like 156. And like even now, I don't even know what I'm at now, but even though I would like, you could tell I lost weight, my pants fit right. Like I swear I lost weight. I go to the doctor, I'm like literally like 1 pound. And I'm like, that's not true.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Yep. So it's the way my body changes because I can see in the mirror. Like I don't have 3 chins, like clearly. So I'm like, I'm looking better and better. I mean, I remember, what I looked like, and it's crazy that the weight, it's the same. I guess it's a muscle mass thing.
Yeah. I don't know because I had the same. So when I first started on the levothyroxine, and I dropped like 20 pounds, like almost immediately, like super fast, and then it just kind of stuck there. And then like now it's still kind of, I can keep it going down as long as I'm like reducing calories and things like that. But who wants to reduce calories?
Nobody.
Nobody
you will
does.
when you don't get to eat the, well, you were smart having your niece cook because now there's not all, you skip dinner sometimes.
Yeah. And that's my problem. If I just ate, like you can tell people that are making like serious like improvements in the gym because like they're working out, but then like they're eating right. Because then there's people that are always in the gym and they look like slightly different, but they have nothing's really happened. And you're like, you probably aren't eating right. Because if you do the calorie reduction, it would probably be a lot. You can probably do it, but it's still really hard. Because like for a while at the beginning of this year, so every year we do like a thing called 120-day challenge at this other business that I own called 3T Warrior Academy. And so we do this 120-day challenge. And so when I was doing that, I wasn't doing the fasting, that we usually do with it, but I was doing the macro counting, like, eating so many carbs, so much protein and so much stuff. And I was buying from this company called Clean Eats, which again, not another plug, but Clean Eats, like you can go and again, we're not sponsored by any of these things. These are just shit that I use. That's why
this is technically we're doing a pod. This is like a Matrix thing. We're doing a pod on your show. Well, it's my show, but it's your network, and this is going up on your shit.
Yeah, but it'll be on this YouTube so people can see us. And so, so Clean Eats, you can go and you can buy you can look at it and say, okay, this has 40, carbs in 40 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein and so forth. And you can buy all that. And so when I was doing that, I was eating really clean, and like you could tell the weight was going off, but it was just so fucking slow. So the gland thing is super real because like if you either it's age, right? Because I'm 38, which makes sense because things slow down when you get older, or it's part of the hypothyroidism. And then
I'm 40, about to be 41, so I'm definitely thanks, Jeremy. I feel so much better.
Well, no, you're not. I don't think that's old, but it's like for as far as the body goes, it's like your metabolism slowing down. You're getting,
My doctor told me, she's like, inside your body's like 70. I was like, thank you.
Oh my God. What kind of so did she tell you what to do to make that not be that way?
Because of the walker, she was explaining like that my body, I use it in different ways, walking with the walker. And she was like, because no one told me when I first became handicapped at 10 from a tumor, that you are going to have things like you can't, using my hands all the time. I ended up getting tendonitis literally like this year. No one said like, okay, be careful like how you use your joints because now like your body depends on other parts and you're gonna like use those up faster.
That makes it because you're using those instead of you don't use your legs.
Like people that walk on their hands, they don't tell them like, oh, your hands don't have as much life as your feet. Like nobody says that. Like that's not a conversation.
Are there like exercises you can do like that they give you like I don't know.
Could have been like 20 years ago. You're supposed to pre-prevent stuff, but they don't tell you. So they're like, tendinitis, you should have not been doing that. And I said, well how can I stop it?
Told me that before.
Every year, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So here, I'm going to show you. Like, I had to get these little pads. I was putting like literally probably like tampon pad things, like they're like lady feminine pads to try to cover because they're hard. The walker is hard on your inside of your hand. So my friend was like, oh, we should get pillow pads, all this stuff. Then she goes, why don't we go on Amazon and see if there's something? And I was like, oh shit, I don't belong to a handicapped like community, so I don't know. My mom doesn't treat me like that. We don't play that game. So they have these little pads. You just buy them and you put them on the walker.
Huh.
And they're like pillows.
That's cool. And but you didn't have those grow because you said you had it at 10?
10, yep, and I'm 40 now. So I didn't at 11, I celebrated my birthday talk about, hey, you're not gonna model anymore. And I had a contract signed with Wilhelmina. I was on my way to New York. It was they threw me out of the I couldn't see Tyra or nothing. They were like a breach of contract because they couldn't walk. So I'm like, well, that's
so
fun.
Shitty.
Yeah, but
how did you like? How did it take a while to get over that? Like thinking about that,
well,
like mentally get over it.
I was so young. Yeah, well, I'm over it. I'm not bitter, but there's days where I'm like, damn it, I wish I could freaking walk. Like I want to go exploring and doing the YouTube channels where you go through a old like amusement park. And I'm like, me and my husband are both like, damn, we're both too handicapped to go anywhere. Like we can, what are we gonna do? Put my electric scooter through the gate after you get past the guard? Like, how is this? I can't do any of it, and it makes me mad because I think I could have really like done like YouTube channel. Like I think I could have been greater. It
does your sister model?
She did when I was younger, but because my mom was going through a divorce and being single at that very moment that I was in the hospital, my sister was 7 years younger than me, so she was like 3, and then so a lot of things stopped for her because my mom had to concentrate on me, and there's a lot of I believe there's a lot of unnoticed or unconscious resentment that she didn't get to live. I didn't get to live my full life. She didn't either. She was really punished, and it's sad, and nobody can help it. And I feel bad for a lot of issues she has now that I probably blame on me and my dad. So I would say daddy issues, but I think it's probably like sister issues too. I just don't own it.
Yeah. But you guys don't talk about that stuff. You just
sometimes it'll come up, again, I think it's unconscious. Like she'll say something and then she'll be like, oh shit, it was because of you. And I'm like, oh shit, I apologize. And I think as of now, there was never really any sorry. I mean, there couldn't be, but we move on because my mom just was like, this is what it is. My mom's a hardcore Italian. She's like, I mean, she argued with a cat last year when we went to Italy, like in the middle of the street.
I believe that. So I just hung out with my friend Johnny in Connecticut, and he's the firstborn here in America from his family migrating over from Italy. And so it's funny. They're like literally, but they were like typical. Well, I'm assuming I don't want to stereotype people, but like they were always yelling at each other. Yeah. Like, why are you yelling at each other?
If you don't yell,
I yell because I'm loud, and I think that's because I have a hearing problem. But who knows? And so, they were just like anytime they were talking, they were yelling.
It's yelling. Do you have Italian in you, or you don't know?
No. I just yell because I'm just loud.
But did you have ancestry done or anything?
Yeah, I have ancestry done. It's all either white. Like as white as you can get. So it's like Britain. So it goes Britain. And then it goes El Salvadoran, but when you do the ancestry, it breaks it down by like Spain and then by like the actual peninsula in Central America where like the Mayans lived and the Pipples lived and all that shit.
The Pipples.
And that's what the there's another tribe that's there that's called that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's that tribe specifically. And then and then the rest is just a broken down of other white people. So like it's like
like all the white.
Yeah, so it's like 16% mixture of like Spain, Central American, and what would be considered El Salvador, and then like 24% is British, and then it's like German, Welsh, Scottish, and like and then it's just white. Yeah,
it's just listing it. Does it smell white? W.
Yeah, they could have just put white. Like if you're. I know that like Wales is not part of Britain, but like Scottish is Britain, Ireland is part of, like the United Kingdom, and then Wales is off to the side or down or wherever it's at. And like it's just white. 97%. They could have just put white and then like, Spanish or brown, and then it would have been fine.
That was it. Just send you a piece of paper with 2 colors. This is it. This is what we got going.
Yeah, just break it up like this, like 16% brown, and then the rest of it would just be white.
My mom is from Italy, and I am first generation American here, me and my sister, but she's from Italy, from an island, Ponza. And she, her parents are both, one's from Ponza, one's from Sardinia. I mean, they're Italian, 100%. You think that you're going to get like 100%, some type of 90%. Yeah. So it comes back, and she like literally had like 16% Jew in her. And I've been telling her forever, like she argued the ancestry. Like that's typical. She yelled about how she didn't believe it, but I'm like, Mom, I've told you forever. I kept saying, I'm probably like a little racist when I yell at her. I'm like, fucking Jew. And but she does like Jewish things. Like she wants to pick up rice outside the wedding off the floor because later we can use it. Like, but you have plenty of money to buy rice. Like she's picking up pennies and quarters and washing them and making sure like that's don't really dangle. Funny. Like one time I was throwing away like these pennies or something that was in my purse that was like icky, whatever. I was just throwing away all the change that was stuck with candy. Oh God. She like snuck by later to go in that. And I said, don't you touch that trash can. What did she do? She touched the damn trash can.
That's crazy.
It's like,
yeah. Cause I thought when I was going to get mine, because my father's from El Salvador, I thought it would be more like
El Salvadorian,
but it was like more white than it was El Salvadorian. I'm like, how is that possible?
Was your dad? Is your dad telling a little fib?
I have no idea.
White lie?
Well, I mean, he came over here during the war in El Salvador because he was an illegal immigrant, and then I think he got amnesty when Reagan gave everybody amnesty and whatever. Yeah. But like he came, so I mean, I know he's from El Salvador. Yeah. But like past that, who knows? But
like anyway. Who knows? And that is, I'm telling you, that is like the funniest thing to get. My husband got back his, and obviously, he's black, but it came back as 97% African.
Jeez.
When I tell you, and I'm dead ass, when I tell you I took it to some of my like Nigerian friends and they were like laughing. They were like, we're not even 97% African.
Well, the other thing that's weird about did you guys go through Ancestry or did you go that other 22andMe or whatever the hell that's
I did
called?
Ancestry for me and I did 123, I think, in me for him because at the time I wanted to see like how it was. And to know it wasn't fake, I bought his through my debit card and mine through his with our emails so that let's say they Googled us, his would have came back mine and mine would have came back his.
Yeah. So well, because like when I first got it from like they keep getting better at their DNA stuff.
I know.
And then I think like this big company bought Ancestry.com for their DNA stuff, like Black. I'm not going to say Black because it's not BlackRock, but it's like, I don't know, some black, like it's like Black something or other. And it's like this big organization that does aero defense stuff, I think, and they do all this other stuff. Anyways, they bought it. And since they bought it, now like some of the DNA stuff gets better. So I'll log in and it'd be like, oh, your DNA has shown like has been updated, and then it'll like more specify it. Because like at one point I was more Welsh than I was Scottish, and then like a couple months ago I went in there and I was more Scottish than I was, Welsh.
So just changing up how white you was like.
You're right. It's just changing the different whiteness of what's.
Are you getting like off white now in Manila?
Right. I'm like, it's got different colors of white.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you're more brown.
Yeah, I can't wait till I become more African over time.
It'll be hilarious. It'll be like 65% Spanish.
Yeah. So I'm like, whatever.
So your dad will get more Salvatorian if that's the word.
If that's the case, right? He'll become more El Salvadorian over time.
That is so funny. I haven't logged in years. I didn't know that I'm going to log back in.
You should log in and see if it updates it because it's been updated twice since I did mine like a year and a half ago.
And I did my mom's at Ancestry too. I did that on purpose for her family. And we called in, she had to call her family, and tell them that this is what's going on. And, that they are Jewish. And I was I'm in the background screaming. I'm like, yes, I told you, all of you.
And I'm also assuming your family was raised. I mean, this is the assumption.
Yep, Catholic. Catholic. Yep. I mean, we're not hardcore, but
right.
It's funny because obviously me, every time I go to Italy, every year that we go, like I always have to have my Bible packed, my my crucifix and my rosary, and I have to have these, like nice outfits to go to church. And then my mom does not. She's a Christian. She refuses. She's an American, and she God dang it, I'm telling the story.
Oh, I got it. Oh, no. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a pit bull. He's American Stafford, nice. And then a Chihuahua.
Nice. Is that the Chihuahua barking?
No, that's the pit bull.
I'm just kidding.
No, yeah. Listen, the Chihuahua knows how to throw his voice now. Sometimes I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Yeah. Marco is the Chihuahua. He's mine, and he looks just like me. And then Tyson's the pit bull, and he looks like my husband.
Last night we watched Super Pets, the DC cartoon. Have you seen that?
Yeah, isn't it the funniest thing you've ever? Me and my husband went to the theater.
Fucking funny. It was ridiculously funny. Like Kevin Hart did such a fantastic job, and like everybody. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Listen, we took my niece and we went with another friend. She's actually a DCF worker, but it's funny because she's like, please don't let my job affect that me and you hang out. And I was like, okay.
What is she? What is she?
She works for the Department of Children and Families.
Oh, got it.
Like she's like the head of it.
I see. That's funny.
She says people around her get nervous. I guess that she's going to come after them for their kids. I don't.
What are people doing with their children that they feel that way?
Well, I guess like they feel that she's scrutinized. That she's like, no, I like leave that at the office. Like unless it's like I have to intervene. She was like, it doesn't work like that. I don't just grab the kid and be like, hey,
like, see you later. Coming with me. That would still be kidnapping, probably.
Yeah, I'm over here pointing out bad parents. I'm like, so did you hear about Tasha? And I'm just she's like, it doesn't work like that.
All of the people that you hate or despise, you're like, I heard that they lock their kid up in a room. What are your thoughts on that?
Here are the photos. I will do undercover. She's like, don't do undercover work for me. No, she said a lot of people just get nervous around her, period. Just like a police officer. I mean, even though he's off work and you're like smoking illegally weed or something.
So we have, there's this person that kind of works with us, but doesn't. And so he's a police officer, but not in our state.
Yeah, and you're
he was visiting our state because he was hanging out with. So anyway, I'm not going to say his name, but like I said some of the worst shit in front of him about
things you do.
Well, no, it wasn't. Well, yes, but like, and then also we were talking about this one thing, and I was like, well, we could probably structure it the way that you would. And I'm not saying, again, this is going to sound fucking horrible, but I was using it as like an example in front of him. But the fact that I went in such detail about money laundering, because it was about money laundering, I was like, well, if we do it this way, it would be like money laundering, but it would be a legal way to do it. And then like I'm saying all of this in front of him, and it was like, you cannot say, and he's like, I don't care, and I get what you're saying, but I'm not like right now I'm not a cop. It was like the worst thing ever.
He's like, just don't get in my car and talk to me when the badge is on.
Right.
That's hilarious. That is the fun, like, honest to God, like I wish I was on the podcast with him and you just go on your right.
Yeah, it was really well, because we were trying to, there was this business thing that we're trying to do that we couldn't do in the United States. So, but it's legal. We could do it in other countries. And so we were trying to figure out a way to do this thing so we can have it be something in the United States, but that it would be legal, but the structure would be in the other country, right? And it's not like getting out of paying taxes or anything like that. It was just literally a structural thing where the rest of the world recognizes this one thing the United States doesn't, and so it's a pain in the ass, and it has to do with non-fungible tokens or NFTs.
Yes.
And so when we were thinking about that, right?
Tokens.
Yeah, and so anyway, so it was weird, and now it's going to sound weird because I'm not going to explain it, but let everybody know it's not an illegal thing. It was just the way that we were talking about it.
Was he like a good friend, or
yeah? He's a really good friend. And again, it's not anything that was like literally what we were talking about was illegal. It was just the way that I worded it to say if we structured this like how you would do something money laundering, like it would work.
I'm telling you, if I could have been a fly on that wall, that would have been the most hilarious fly or podcast I've ever, like, you're missing out on.
And the worst part about it was it took place like in a hotel room. So it was even creepier because we were at a conference. And so like one of the people are like, hey, Jeremy, can you come up to my hotel room? I'm like, okay, cool. So we go to the hotel room. We start talking about this with 4 of us. And then while we're sitting in that hotel room, more and more people keep coming into that room during this conversation. And I'm like, this conversation, we cannot do it this way because the United States doesn't recognize it. This will not work. Doing it the way that we're doing it, it's completely illegal.
You're just informing all these people.
But then people keep coming into the room.
The leader.
Yeah, it was so
then when you get downstairs
weird.
to your conference, everybody's like already, he's going to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so stupid. It was the stupidest night ever. But
were you drinking?
No, I don't drink. Yeah.
Oh God. You should have lied and said you were.
No, I don't. I don't drink. Well, yeah, again, like I said, it's not like an illegal thing. It was just the way that it was all
you should be like, I'm so drunk, guys.
No. But yeah, it was really funny. And I still talk about it. I'm talking about it right now, but I talk about it to everybody because it was just really funny the way that the entire thing, the way that the whole thing worked out, because it's like it was like a secret meeting in a hotel room. And then like you're talking about this thing that you can't. Yeah, so essentially what it is, I'll just say what it is because it'll just be easier. If you release a non-fungible token in the United States, okay, which is an NFT, which is, I'm not going to go into what an NFT is, but people probably heard of NFT. They might own NFTs. But if you release an NFT in the United States, and so let's say I put out an NFT and you buy it, okay, and then I go and I take that money and I invest that money into like a bunch of houses. And every year that money, I get a profit of the money from those houses. If I give you a part of that money, right? Like say, because you bought the NFT and say, moving forward, you're going to get like 5% of all the profits of this house. Yeah. And I give that to you. The United States recognize that as a security, just like as if it was a stock or anything else. And so unless you're registered as that with the United States, it's illegal. The problem is that the rest of the world, for the most part, except for maybe Germany and a couple places, they don't recognize it that way. And so what we were trying to do was figure out how we could use some of the money that was coming into our thing that we were doing, purchase NFTs that were passive, right? Where we could get some of the profit from it without without that other company being in the United States. And so we found a way that works, right? But when I was explaining it, I was utilizing a concept that I thought everybody could understand, which was money laundering, because everybody that was there understood The Sopranos, right? Where they use the strip club and the trash company to like move the money into, the family money, right? And so I was just utilizing how we could do it, and it just came off that was the only thing that I could think of that made sense, because it's the same kind of concept. It's just that the way that we would be doing it would be legal, and the way that they did it was, illegal because it was illegal money. Yes. Could you have used maybe more of a casino? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but it was just a horrible conversation. And then what happened was, because people were coming in the middle of the conversation, I then had to re-explain it, or they heard a horrible part about what we possibly were talking about.
You know what they heard? Because, people can't play telephone. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, I wish I could talk to some of their friends, not the people in the room, but their friends, because I'm sure it came in as, Jeremy owns all these networks. He is trying to money launder. Right. That's exactly probably what happened. But he's trying to tell us how to explain it, that it's not.
Well, and then another thing that around that same time, so Age of Radio, I put like on the back burner for a little bit. Like I just kind of let it go, and now I'm revamping it, and like we have all these deals that we're working on in the pipeline, and I'm trying to get our Age of Radio Discord going and the Facebook going more, and trying to get like actual videos up, which I should be recording this next week. We're starting to do trying to do a live show, which I'd like to have you on inside of the Addicted to Podcast. We would just do this, but on my stream. And so like, I'm trying to get all these things going, right? And so during that time that I let it kind of fall, the money from the network was like going like really, really well, right? And then Megaphone got bought out by Spotify, and Spotify Audience Network is fucking garbage. So Spotify, I love your product, but I hate you as a company, if you're listening to this. And so they like cut the revenue that we were getting like in half. And so this frustrated a few of the people on the podcast, or on the podcast network. And I was trying to explain to them how it all worked. And when we were trying to get some of these people, Joey was going out and getting a lot of these people. And we weren't explaining probably as well as we could have everything. And then they probably weren't reading the partnership agreement. And so I went on and I explained everything, and they eventually understood it all. But at the beginning of it, when I was talking to one of them on the phone, I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that it's been kind of behind and I've kind of let this fall, and I really meant it. But the way that I stated it was that, I'm dealing with this tax situation. And when I said that, in my mind, it made me think that he probably fucking thought that I was like getting like a levy from taxes not being owed, or from like, right, or like there was an audit and I was dealing with that, which then made them seem more which then made them seem more skeptical, because like they saw the money get cut in half. And so then I was like, fuck, why did I say it that way? Because what
Jeremy
was happening
is known for now money laundering.
Right. And so then I had so because I have another business that we didn't have the books done yet because of how fast it went. Right. And so we didn't have the books done, and I was getting caught up on the books. And so that instead of saying that like, oh, I needed to get these books caught up, I'm dealing with this tax thing. And it was fucking horrible. And then in my mind, I was like, well, what the fuck? I gotta stop having these conversations. Like, I was gonna say, Jeremy, without any pre-planning. Yeah.
I think you are not on the fly. Besides being funny and telling her stories, you need to prepare for. A matter of fact, how about next time you read your speech in front of me and your wife, so that we can
probably would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, so during all that happened at the time, because we had so much stuff going on. Because like,
wait, what did Joey say? What did your partner say?
Oh, Joey was really cool. So my cousin Jackie and Joey are super. But so my cousin Jackie, who helps with Age of Radio stuff, she is like, I don't know, East Coast hardcore. Like she was like, fuck this guy, blah 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 blah, and she was gonna go in there and like tell them all. I was like, Jackie, it's cool. Like they have every right. I get what they're saying. Like I don't have a problem with that. I just
Jeremy just gave us tax evasion.
Right. Right. No. But well, yes. But I was like, no. It's okay. I understand why they're upset. Like I get it. Like especially with one of the shows was making over $1,000 a month from us, and now it's down to like a couple $100. So I get why they were frustrated.
Okay. Side note, I was never complaining about any money, but I did see the drop. But no, now that you say that,
it got dropped. So we were we dropped
my
over half.
Was making me
we were good. Dropped over half of the revenue from when Megaphone got bought out by Spotify, because everything moved over to the Spotify network. And what the Spotify audience network probably does, I'm not going to say it's 100% because I don't work for Spotify, but logically what it probably does is it goes and finds deals, and then they use those same deals across everything in Spotify. Where like before, when it was just Megaphone and they were owned by Graham Holdings Company, who the creators of it, when they were owned by that, it was like you pay us and it's just for these podcasts. Right. Yeah. Across our podcast network. Like, because the Wall Street Journal uses Megaphone, like the Atlantic uses Megaphone, like every big network uses Megaphone because it's a really, really good product. Yeah. But the problem was that twofold. Once, we relied too much on the Megaphone ad network, or the Spotify audience network. And I slowed down on trying to sell our own ads. And so that, coupled with the fact that Spotify then pays shit for their ads, right? Because they're buying them in so much bulk. Yeah. And they're buying them in bulk, and then they're lower. The price is lower. To them. Exactly. Right. So like, instead of like Megaphone, let's say Megaphone bought a deal with, get a deal with Microsoft. Microsoft might pay Megaphone, $30, per 1,000 downloads. Well, what Spotify probably does is it probably says, okay, we're going to promise you 200,000 listens, right, across either Spotify Music or Spotify ads or podcast ads, wherever, and we're only going to charge you, say, $13. Right. And then that money then gets split and given down to us. So it gets lowered because they sell it in this giant bulk.
It's a pyramid, right? Isn't it like a pyramid scheme?
Well, it's not like a pyramid scheme. It's kind of like, it's like Costco. Right. It's like Costco for ads. So if you go to Costco and you buy a big fucking thing of water, because you're buying so much of it, it's cheaper. So Spotify goes and sells a bunch of listens, right? And then it pushes those listens out until you get it. And because of that, they can sell it to people for cheaper. So like if I was talking, like the guy that I'm talking to tomorrow, if he doesn't like the $33 price that we usually do for our ads, and he's like, this is a little bit expensive. It's like, okay, cool. Well, let me do this. I promise you 300, 20,000 listens for your ad, because I can see it. 20,000 listens for your ad. And instead of paying us $33, you pay us $22. So, and then he's like, okay, that sounds good. Where otherwise I still got more, but it's still less in the over, like I got the money because I wouldn't have got it otherwise, but I got it at a lower cost. So rather than having no money, I got some money, but it's lower. And that's why Spotify sells everything in bulk. And so that's why we're trying to find another avenue to make sure that we can get higher cost ads into the network that are just geared towards podcasts, so it doesn't have to go across all of Spotify's network, because why Spotify wins in this situation, because they have so much stuff that they can push people out to listen to.
Yeah, to do. Well,
if that makes sense. I know that was a lot of shit, but
no, I'm glad, because listen, I hate to sound like I don't care, but Brennan Jett is the producer to the Talk Yo Ishh show, and also your friend. So he deals with that side. Like, I really don't. But I always ask, and people ask me sometimes, like, how do you get paid? How does this? And I'm like, so I'm gonna give you like the money laundering side of it. I don't know. I just take it and flip it around and try to see what I can do by selling myself as on my voice.
So what we try to do is, and it worked really, really good until this Spotify thing happened, and then but that's half our fault and half Spotify's fault. Like, I'll take ownership for some of it, because at the time I was actively going out and trying to find ads, and now that we have, like, my cousin Jackie's now taking over a role of going and selling ads for the network. So, but essentially how this specifically would have worked in the past was, like, if you have a podcast, you join our podcast network for free, you get hosting access for free. We advertise your show across our shows as best as we can. I'm still working on getting that a little bit more better, or a little better. And then more better. And then we also advertise the shows, like on Facebook, like we do paid ads across Facebook and all this stuff. And so the way that we get our money from this piece, right, is from that Spotify will send out dynamic ads, or just ads that you hear wherever we tell it to put an ad. And then we get we get half of that money, and then I take 60% of that money and I give it to the hosts, right? And they get money from that, and that's how they get money. And then as we grow the shows, then we try to sell and talk other people into buying the ads directly from us, so that the hosts get more money. Right, because it has if you just join the network, so essentially what will happen for every 1,000 listens, roughly, if you just come to us right now, you'll get probably like $12. Right, it's like $10 to $12 for every 1,000 downloads, or every 1,200 downloads, and so which is horrible. Which is not horrible, it's good. But if I was selling the ads ourselves, we could get that up a lot higher, closer to like $15-18 for the host, or $20 for the host almost. And so that's
I'm with you all the way. I'm hoping to get 100,000 views on our 100,000 downloads on our thing right now. Don't look at the YouTube number. Don't look at the YouTube number. We're looking at who's gonna when we post.
It takes a long time. Like, I know one of our larger shows, Mysterious Circumstances, his host Justin, he's been doing this like for 5 years, and he puts on a really good show. And there's like in-depth stuff. Dark Windows is finally starting to get really good traction. It's one of our top listened to shows now, and they've been doing this with me since 2018, 2019. Because I really started doing this at the back end of 2018, and then we didn't start making real money in it until 2019, and then 2020 was a really good year, and 2021 was a really good year, and then this year it kind of went down because the Spotify thing, and then we'll try to get it back up,
and then we'll just have it. Well, I told you I'm with. Oh, my thing. I said I'm with you all the way. Like, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm really excited. I think I came straight out of the gate pretty hot. We've simmered a little, but there's also things that we can work on, and I'm always up for. I mean, you're so personal. Like, you don't get to talk to people like I do get to talk to some of them at Spotify. But again, I'm with you, and I've been asked before why I'm not with other networks. I'm like, but for what? I'm like, Jeremy puts me across the board. I mean, there's podcasts networks out there that they say, like, look for your podcast, and I look and I'm on there.
Yeah.
Like, there's been, I think, 2 that were new, like P-Lo or whatever it was. And I submitted it and I put it on there. I don't know if that makes any difference for you, but I actually...
No, you can. And that's one of the things. If people know how... See, the problem is
that they just add it.
Yeah, so people don't know how it's like. That's the only I mean, besides the recording and the editing and stuff, but like the hardest part about podcasting is just getting it on the different channels. So if you come with us, we just do it all. There are a few difficulties and problems with it that we're trying to work out to make it so people have better access to certain things that are on the network, right? I mean, there's always things that can be improved.
Of course.
But that's one of the easiest things. But most of the people stay with us because it's they never pay for anything. And so like when you go to like Anchor and you do their free, well, maybe not Anchor, but like, yeah, I guess maybe Anchor, you at some point you have to pay for more hosting, right? Yeah. Because they'll get rid of your episodes and maybe Anchor. I'm not 100% if Anchor does that. I think that they do, but like I know that Spreaker does. And so that's one of the other reasons why people come with us. But like we're trying to build like a community. So we have our Addicted to Facebook group or Addicted Podcasting Facebook group. We have our Discord. We have all that stuff.
Your Fresh Step is there.
Yep. Hello Fresh is probably here.
Wait, I said Fresh Step.
Fresh Step. Yes. But anyways, to move past some of that stuff, you were telling me a story. I don't know if you remember it, and then I interrupted you, and then we kind of went down another path. So I wanted to hear what that story was.
That's fun. Yeah, we're like coming around in 3 hours. No, I always remember what I say. That's the one good thing about me. That's my superhero
That's
power.
What sucks about me. But I just remember that I interrupted you because your dog was barking, and then yeah. But anyways, what were you saying?
Talking. So my friend that works at DCF, the Department of Children and Families, nobody like gets really like, oh my God, sorry, this thing's like shorting out because all the times I have to take it places. So she said that like people act funny because she has to, take the kid, whatever, how she works, her job title. Yeah. But she's off work. She doesn't want to do. So we went with her and her daughter. And then she likes to hang out with me only because, and she's about 10 years older than me, but because I kind of don't care and when I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about her coming in and taking anything. So we go out and we went out with my husband, and my husband, smoked his weed, and we went, and I don't really smoke like that. I really don't smoke it at all anymore because I have like allergy, asthma, and I'm like wheezing.
And
so I can't even.
You're at, is it legal?
No, it's you have to have the marijuana card.
Okay, you have to have a card because here it's recreational. So
yeah,
okay,
we have all the cards.
Yes.
Winking.
Yes, you do.
Can you hear me wink?
I remember I saw them.
Blink twice.
I don't think I can wink.
Are you one of those you can't wink?
I think it's because my eyes don't open up. My eyes are so, from staring in front of the screen for so long, like my eyes are so baggy, and like I need to get something that can hydrate the bottom of my eyes.
Oh, it's called a dermaphil.
Yeah, I could do that because I can't open my eyes. So like you wouldn't even know if I was winking because my eye barely opens.
My friend, and I'm gonna just call her out, Sophia. She's in Pennsylvania. I always talk about her all the time. She can't wink. Like she like every year. She dead ass can't wink like at all. She's like, am I winking? I'm like, Sophia, no. So I'll go back to the story. So we went to the movies and we were like, okay, God, we're going to watch this cartoon. I have a limit on cartoons I watch a year because I just can't anymore. It doesn't interest, especially paying for it at the movies. I'm I'm not sitting through Moana again. Like, we're not doing this. I'm not doing Space Camp, whatever the hell that shit is. I hate it. Like, makes me want to drink and do drugs at the movies. Like, I just can't.
It'd be a better movie experience if you could.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
then I just, like I said, get drunk there. They serve liquor at ours.
Yeah, they do that over here. Yeah.
Oh, thank the Lord. Helped out so much. I would have seen a lot of more movies when I was young if my parents could have drank there. So mad about that. So we get to the movies and it's going and we're laughing. Well, we like me, my friend from DCF and my husband, we are dying. I feel like the jokes went over the kids' heads. A lot of them. We're in it. We're in it to win it. Like we are screaming so loud.
What movie was it?
The
Super Pets. Okay, got it. Yeah, it was really good.
With Kevin Hart. Oh my God. Like it was like endless. Like it was the best movie. Me and my husband decided to go back like twice and see it ourselves.
Did you really?
Yeah, because it was just so funny. I mean, the first was funny, but that second one, oh my God, it just like we were in the theater and there's all these kids and we're like, shut up, mind your own business.
That's funny. It was really. I really like The Rock and Kevin Hart. So like I thought it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be funny, but the actual overall boot, like the whole thing was really good. Like it was just well made.
And Tiffany Haddish when she did the other dog, and I mean, just and then we got that thing with the Bumblebee, the toy that the main dog had. He had this toy. And it's funny. I don't know if you noticed with your animal, but my our dogs each have a bumblebee, a toy where they just like, my husband will go like close to it and like they are that one toy, like a teddy bear, little toys that they just.
So Kyla, my older dog was like that. My younger dog, and I don't think we have that toy anymore. But yeah, they were one of my dogs was like that when he was younger. Yeah.
Where they have to like, my pit bull has this thing. I don't know if he was a klepto in another life, but he steals tennis balls from the park. From the dog park. And it got so bad. We go to the same one every night and he takes them and he stores them. He hides them. You won't even see them in his mouth. He's got a gator mouth and he hides them in my husband's truck. There's days that I've opened the car door and tennis balls just come flying. That's like hilarious. At least 14. I swear, it may be 18 at one point. And I want to do a TikTok and show everybody. I swear, I think tonight I'll do that because it's just so comical. And the dogs and the people at the park caught on to somebody was stealing. So they started putting the balls after they play. They put it in the tree. We caught the pit bull, our pit bull. He's not that kind of pit bull, jumping to go into the tree to get the damn ball. And my husband's like, we're going to get like locked out of here. Like, we're not allowed to come back because we're just not going to be asked to come back anymore. So,
you should totally do a TikTok of the balls.
Yes. I promise tonight I'm going to show you all the balls in the card. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, she wasn't lying. Because I think it's so funny. This man stockpiles them all week long. And he doesn't play catch at all. Like, you take the ball, you throw it, and you think he's going to come. No, he plays catch with himself. He throws the ball and he catches it to get it away from you.
That is crazy.
That's it.
That's funny.
Yeah. He doesn't. Our dogs don't play with you or anybody else. They want to just play with themselves. Give him the toy and that's it. Like every Christmas, every birthday for him, we get him the tennis balls that you buy.
That's funny.
And you can't buy like those bully toys and all. Oh, they're non-destructible. Lies. My dog can destroy something in 15 minutes, give them an hour max.
That is funny.
We spend I send in the toys. I'm like, here you go. They're like, did you put it through a shredder? Like, nope, that was my dog.
Nope, that was my dog. This is not indestructible. I want my money back.
I want my money back, and I tape it so they know because they swear up and down. I put it through a wood chipper. I'm like, nope, just his mouth.
That's so funny.
Jeremy, what plugs do you have for me? Are you doing Manscaped? Are you doing anything?
I'm not doing anything right this moment. I will plug 3T Warrior Academy. Yeah. So we own a company called, I own a company called 3T Warrior Academy with a gentleman I have named Coach JV. So if you go over to our 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page, we have 94,000 subscribers on that page. We do, so on that page, we have a really popular show, with Coach JV, and you can find him on socials at Coach JV _. You can find me on socials at Age of Jeremy, everywhere, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. But anyways, on that 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page, we have, Coach JV does economic research every day that he provides to people to help them with, their generational wealth building and financial stuff. Then we have a daily, news show called Good Morning Crypto, where it's a crypto news show where we talk about cryptocurrencies and everything that's happening. That's fastly rising. And then every Monday we have a show called the Ken Mack and Coach JV show with this other influencer named Ken Mack, and they go on there and they do live. That's then all turned into a podcast. And then every Wednesday we have a show that's dedicated to non-fungible tokens with a company that I own called Collecti Labs. So you can go find Collecti Labs. In regards to the 3T Warrior Academy, if you go to 3twarrioracademy.com, you can also find out about 3T Warrior Academy, and we have a you can pay us a membership fee, and you can find the price if you go to the website. And so yeah, you pay us. But anyways, it gives you access to our online community where we have crypto online courses that people can take. We have motivation courses that people have. We have, well, not courses, but like there's a motivation group in there. There's a fitness group. We have daily online workouts. I teach business stuff every other Thursday in there that's live. And then Coach JV does a bunch of stuff in there. And then we're starting a day trading program that's an additional fee when you're inside of there. So there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, we have over 1,200 active subscribers members. And then we also have a free Discord. So yeah, just go over 324 Academy. You can see all that stuff. And then if you're interested in Age of Radio, you can go to ageofradio.org, which will eventually be, as soon as I make the switch, be called ageofradio.com because I bought the .com finally. And so or I had to buy it from a radio station in Texas.
Really? Because they were called Age of Radio?
Yeah, they had the ageofradio.com domain, and that's why I couldn't do ageofradio.com, and I made ageofradio.org. And a lot of people get upset. Well, not upset, but people think org, because usually this is the case. It doesn't have to be, but a lot of people think org is like a nonprofit. Yeah. And so nonprofits usually use org. And you don't have to. Anybody can use it if they're an org, whatever.
I swear I like the org because I feel like it makes me feel like it's secure, like you're like a government.
Right.
Yes.
But so I finally, last year, actually, I got in touch with the people in Texas that have the radio station. I asked them because they weren't using it for anything.
Yeah.
And then we came to a deal. And
oh my God, would they sell it for like $1 million?
No. It wasn't. It was like, I don't know. It was like, I in the agreement, I think I'm not supposed to say, but
no.
It wasn't that much money.
I was just
it was enough where I could buy it. So, and I'm not a millionaire, cash millionaire.
I was going to say
anyway.
You're the millionaire to me.
Well, I'm not a cash millionaire. Maybe in valuation from businesses, but not in like I have one house and like all of my cars are paid off. So like I don't have a lot of bills. I take them. I have some debt bills that I keep stacking up debt and then consolidating to pay. But other than that,
and you know what we should do? We should do a once a month podcast on how not to money launder and how not to do tax evasion.
Yes.
And what words?
Well, and so because that's the other thing too. Once I get Age of Radio going and more, right? Kind of because my goal is to get it to over 6-figure business by next year because it was getting close. It was getting there, and then
and then you dropped off a little bit.
Off, right? Yeah. So and then by the following
year,
why
my numbers dropped? It wasn't even me.
It probably wasn't even you. It was probably me. I'm just being real.
I'm blaming you. You better tell my producer that he's getting on me.
Well, actually, I don't know why I don't know. We'll have to look at that because there's no logical reason why yours fell because they should just be going
amazing.
Up. Yeah.
You know what it is? I think I have a lot of platforms and I think people are getting into my platforms in other ways. And
that could be true. That could be true.
See me on this, and it's easier. People are lazy. Sometimes it's easier for someone to do that let me just see her on my TV and this and that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not going to toot my own horn. I'm kind of cute. So, I mean, that's what they want to, thank you. That's what they want to see. They want to see Snooki because that's what I hear all the time. I'm not Snooki.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, kind of.
I get. Yeah, you
probably
see it.
It's the Italian.
Yes, it is. She's not Italian.
I don't know anything about. I mean, I know who she is, but I don't know anything about her. I just assume all of them were Italian on the show.
None of them, except like one or two.
I don't think they weren't either. Yeah, I know.
No, they weren't even from like Jersey.
Yeah, I know that part. Weren't they from like New York?
New York, yeah. Which it's funny when the Jersey Shore first like came on and there was auditions and you can. My friends were like, "Oh, you should," and I was like, "Fuck that show." Now I'm like, "Fuck that show."
Although I think who I do follow. It's oddly enough, I do follow. I don't follow a lot of people. No, I don't follow a lot of people on TikTok. But for some reason, I follow. Is it Pauly, the DJ?
Pauly D, yeah.
Yeah, so I follow Pauly because I'm just happy. For some reason, I'm genuinely happy for him that he became a famous DJ.
Yeah, me too.
Show. I don't know why, because I was just kind of like, oh, that's really cool that he was on this show. And people always make fun of them and hating them or whatever the case is. And he's now this famous DJ that plays all over the world.
But I think I was reading he gets like $300,000 to go show up to spin some bootleg ass records.
Because I mean, that's pretty good because like, I think like DJ Tiesto, and I don't know anything about that type of music, but like DJ Tiesto, I heard at one point the stuff that he was playing, or Calvin Harris had his gig in Las Vegas, and he was making like $1 million a show. So the fact that Pauly was able to make $300,000 a show is really good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's way more now, but it's the notoriety.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's cool. But I follow him because it's I think that's cool for him. I always like seeing. I get excited about people being successful, no matter who they are, just because.
Well, good. I'm so happy that we're friends, so that you can help me be even more successful.
Right.
I'm still waiting for my Talk Yo Ishh logo on my billboard.
Yeah, I'm working on billboards. I promise I'm working on it.
All right. I got you. You know I'm always going to plug on you.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But anyway, so this is on the podcast. Also on my podcast. What are your plugs?
Oh, my blogs? Oh, Talk Yo Ishh at yahoo.com. You can do TikTok, Talk Yo Ishh. I actually got a little marketing manager, Olivia Rose. She's from Michigan. I'm from Detroit. We clicked a couple weeks ago, actually almost a month ago, and now she's like helping. She's a marketing like specialist. So if you ever want to talk to her,
that's so cool. I do.
She's freaking beautiful. If you look on my Clapper, it's you can go to Clapper and Talk Yo Ishh. It's another like TikTok, but for strippers. And she's on there. She's actually going viral right now. She has over 22,000 views. And that's just, let me see. I'm going to tell you right now, because I know it's way more than that. She's at 32,000 views right now. So it's going. My biggest accomplishment was my one viral TikTok video that was 790,000. I was so
crazy,
hoping that would transfer over. Yeah,
no,
it was just a bunch
they
of
don't. It's just so you know, we have, not to downplay anybody's subscriber number, but I'm just using this as an example. Is like the coach has 1.1 or 1.2 million followers on TikTok, and none of that transfers over anywhere.
That's it.
It's one of the things you just have to like over time say, hey, go check me out on my podcast here. Then keep putting out content out, and then every once in a while, hey, go check me out on my podcast here or my YouTube. One of my problems is I have so much stuff going on that I never know what to plug.
That's it. That's what it is right here.
Because I'm like, should I plug 3T Warrior? Because we have an app that's going to be coming out. It's called Merlin. And if you go to getmerlincrypto.com, I think it is, or get Merlin, I don't know. If you go to Twitter and go to Merlin, like it's an app that we built, like that's going to be coming out here that we've been working on for like a year with developers and a front end designer and all, anyway, like actual software. So that'll be coming out. So like when people are like, oh, plug something, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to plug. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah, and then people get confused and they're like, what should I do? So I just tell people, just follow me and you'll figure it out.
Just follow Age of Radio and you will find Talk Yo Ishh. And I'm also on every other platform you can think of. So I'm really excited. And again, I love growing with you, and I'm happy that we're friends, like for real. I'm very thankful for that, Jeremy. You just made it something
I'm thankful
more
for you too. So thank you.
Of course. I'm going to make you $1 million.
We are going to make $1 million. I believe that.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I'm ready.
But I do, before we go though, I do have a question. So so you're also on a radio show.
Yeah. 88.9.
That's
it's
crazy.
in Lynchburg. It's in Lynchburg, Virginia. My friend, Hamilton Newton, he was on the radio station out here for years and years. I mean, I knew him probably 20 years ago, and we just got in touch about last year, and he's like, I see what you do and I follow you, and he was like, hey, I have a question, would you like to get on and do like the news? And I was like, okay. So to work out a pay schedule or something, he's like, let's do it where you just do 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you do all your plugs, I get to talk about anything I want as far as the news or whatever, commercials of hip-hop, then I do some reads for him. And then he said, things are coming. He's like, he talks about things that I can't talk about yet, but
that's so cool.
It's in the works.
So so it's 88.9. So if you're in Florida, you got
to go to the app. You got to go online. You got to
where is it at? Where is it at? 88.9 at what state?
88.9 is in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. Sorry. I apparently just zoned out on the
that's okay.
part.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Okay,
yeah,
so if you're in Virginia, you can just go to 88.9.
Yeah, if you're not, you just go. You can go to my Facebook page at Talk Yo Ishh Pod. You can type in 88.9 Lynchburg, Virginia, or you can type in the radio online, and it's an FM station, but obviously up there, I tried to pull it up down here. Now they do have other stations in other states, just they haven't hit Florida yet. It's a new company. They literally just started.
Is it his, or he's one of your friend? Is it his company, or is he just starting he's starting it with the guy? Like they're like more like partners, but there's an owner, and then he's like the main guy underneath. So if I want to go to it, where do I go? Where do I go find it in Arizona?
You could, well, technically I'll just send it to you, but you would just go to like, you Google, I'm the worst plugger. You could just Google like radio stations. I'm going to have to send it to you.
Just hip hop radio stations in Lynchburg.
Lynchburg, Virginia. But there is a thing.
Okay.
Let me see. And my computer's on, I think it's trying to shut off on me. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Jeez, I'm the worst. Hold on, Newton Hamilton. Okay, Hamilton Newton. That's his Facebook page. And let me see.
Facebook. Does he have Instagram?
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, he has Instagram. It looks like it says Loud Radio, the all new Loud Radio. Let me see. That might not be him. Where's all my stuff? DJ Vidal presents Sound On. Oh, I suck. I'll have to find it and put him on it.
What's his name? I'll find him.
His name is Hamilton. It says the Mix 88.9. Hamilton Newton is his name. Yeah. I'm literally gonna. It says download the app.
Because then what we.
It says download the app, listen online, or call 434-300-8940. Or you can go to the Mix 88.9.
And you're on every day?
I'm on every day, 5 days a week for like a few minutes. Dang. And I don't know if he plays it more than one time, probably, because I just talk Yo Ishh. I talk shit, and basically like I've just wrote some ones. I got to do like 6 plugs because it's 5 days a week, but I usually like send them like 3 a day just so I can be archived like I do.
Oh, okay. I see. That's smart.
Yeah. Because you never know, because there's times where I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel like getting my stuff out of the car. Like, oh gee, like right now I don't have any pants on. So
good. See, this would be perfect if you were on OnlyFans.
It is. I actually tape the side content. So if you want to see the whole interview from the bottom up,
it's on OnlyFans.
It's on OnlyFans, but I can't show Jeremy's face because you're not on there, and that's the rule. Unless you get on OnlyFans, and let me know when your OnlyFans comes up.
If I did an OnlyFans, it would be it would just be something ridiculous.
It's crypto naked. Just you and a bunch of guys in the room.
With a bunch of guys naked
in a hotel room discussing
a theory. Horrible. That would be horrible. Who would want? No, I take that back. John. Yeah. So John was telling me, Coach JV, he was telling me he ran someone on TikTok or something, but it's a guy that has an OnlyFans, but he sells his farts in a jar and people buy them.
I know.
Why?
Oh my God.
Why is that?
You mean, no, don't say why. Say how. How is that? Because we need to do that. There's I can light up a jar.
I get that money's fun. Like, I'm not going to lie. Who doesn't want to have that money to do stuff, right? I get that. But why would you do that? Like, why would that be the thing? Like, you're sitting around. Like, how did that come to pass? Like, I'm going to see if I can sell my farts in a jar. Or is this person like, I like farts in a jar, so I'm going to go sell them because I enjoy them?
We should contact him because I'm really wondering, does he want like other farts in it? Does he want like handicap farts in a jar? Like, can we label that? Does he own the rights to the jar? Shall I put it in a tube?
You could brand them different types of farts from different types
want to. I'll brand it in my tube. Like, I had my lip gloss tube. So my lip gloss is coming out.
You should have plugged that. See, we're the worst pluggers of all time.
I know. I'm sorry. So
that should have been like the first plug that you did, that you have a lip gloss line.
Ishh gloss. Well, I want to tell you really quick. So we're doing Jet Balm, and I will in a couple weeks when they get back in stock. I've got the the chapstick for guys, and I want to be able to I've decided to put the labels where I can put your face and your scan code and all your stuff, and then it's Jet Balm because it's for guys, for Brennan, for the producer. Yeah. And then mine is Ishh gloss. Are you putting Brandon's
face on it though?
Yeah. Oh, so Brandon's got a logo that we made for him that Shanti, who made my logo for Yo Ishh, she made a sheet with earphones and a microphone. I'm gonna send it to you.
That's funny. That's what you should
do. So that's his logo.
You should do Yo Ishh condoms too.
I want to, but the thing is, I can't. Help me.
The logo's really good. The logo's really cool. So like, thumbnails would be perfect as condom wrappers. For any show.
I thought of it. I'm like running out of regular money. I've been working at the chiropractic clinic as hard as I can, but I need to find the distributor part where I can get them in bulk. You can't just buy like Chic and put your face on it.
You can't. I'm sure you can.
Tell me, because you know about the non-illegals. Can we?
Oh my God, I don't know about non-illegal shit.
I said non-illegals. Tell me, is that can
Oh God, I see what you're saying. Non-illegals. Got it.
Could me and you do that? Could me and you go into it together and do it? Because that's the easiest thing to do. Yeah, it's like a bunch of rubber.
I'm assuming that most things, there's just like 1 or 2 companies that make the actual thing.
Yeah.
And then the other people, I just don't know how that works with condoms, because wouldn't that be like a regulated? It has to be somewhat regulated because.
Oh my God, my PC's running low.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna wrap this up. Yo Ishh Jeremy, not Quintanilla, Quintanilla.
Yep.
At Age of Radio. And I swear I was almost right. I just didn't have the battery charge.
You're good. We're good. It's also in an hour, so that's pretty long.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much for being on here because you really don't jump on a bunch of people's podcasts. And
Ever.
I love it. I'm like popping all kinds of cherries today. So I definitely want to get on with some of your friends as TikTok and things. So you promised me and I'm going to hold you to it, buddy.
I'll figure it out. If not, next thing we'll do is the Facebook Addicted to Podcasting. The
Please.
Addicted to Podcasting Facebook group thing. Anyways, I'm going to do one this week with Brent and then I'll see you later. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Eat your fresh food.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Age of Jeremy. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. If you can do me a favor, please rate this podcast if your podcatcher allows you to. Talk to you soon.
Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.